Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. I'll give my brief introduction for those who don't know me. My name is Saqib Iqbal, and I'm the Regional Director of IFA in UAE, and I'm a founding partner of Dubai-based audit firm, and the name of the firm is SA Consultants. So purpose of this webinar, just to start with, before starting the webinar, if somebody can just drop me a message here in chat and confirm me that if I'm audible or not. I've allowed actually, the chat was blocked before. Just please, somebody please drop me a text in the chat box and confirm me that audible. Perfect. That's great. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. So, guys, we started this initiative. This is something very important, and being an accountant, everyone it's really important to understand that you always require a lot of skills other than your basic qualification where you need when you want to excel in your career. Now, when it comes to Microsoft Excel, people do not actually understand sometimes, or most of the times, that it is really important tool for us to, which can create ease for our job, which can create, help us in terms of growth, data sorting, data combinations, data combining, and then creating reports, out of it and all that. So I don't know the background of those who are attending this webinar, but our focus was to to be on very starting to create some qualification type of thing or training thing for us for today specifically, where we can give you some basics of Microsoft Excel, which will help you to in your job, in your business, whatever you do. Now, I really want this to be very interactive session. I'll be very quick. We can have multiple sessions, and we are planning for more sessions where we will upgrade your skills in terms of Excel, and we will take you to the next level and then to the advanced level as well. I'm personally been, I'm qualified as a financial master of financial modeling, and I have worked with very huge organizations where I used to work on financial modeling, creating different models to support different departments, reporting, creating different types of sheets and all that kind of stuff. And hi, Robert. This is, it should not go beyond 1 hour, but initially we thought this for like 2 hours, but planned for 2 hours, but I believe that it'll be somewhere around 1.5 hour session. I have actually created a very basic sheet, which is, basic financial Excel or Microsoft Excel module or a tool for you guys to be, you can always refer back to that sheet as well, which we will definitely share with you as well. And that's a kind of a manual. I will start through that manual. If you guys have your Excel sheets in front of you, it'll be much easier for you to understand so that you can quickly practice a few things alongside. And I want this to be very interactive, so I will be asking, questions and all that from you people. If you do not understand something, you can always come to me. I will leave my contact details to everyone. In future, if you guys need any sort of help, you want to discuss something separately offline, so I'll be more than happy to answer. Perfect. Right. So everyone can see this sheet, right? Please confirm if you guys can see the sheet. Wonderful. Thank you, Bilal. So let's start with something very basic. I know that most of you guys have already have this idea about what is Excel, what is cell, what is row, what is column, and all that kind of stuff. But for those who doesn't have that much of ideas, so I'll just go one by one. So if you guys can see the sheet, so now I'll start with this. So what is actually cell? What is row? What is column? So in this one particular picture, you can see all these three things have been highlighted. And the first one is something where you can see this number or a cell being highlighted in green. That is called a cell. And the one which is highlighted in red, that is called a row. And the one which is highlighted in blue or something similar to blue, so that is called a column. I'll move to the next stage. But what I will do is I will actually open a very basic Excel sheet alongside, so that we can have some quick idea. Okay, so guys, the one which I've highlighted, this is column. The one I'm highlighting, this is row. And there is this cell. There is always a limit of number of cells in one Excel sheet. But if you can see that there are, how many sheets are there in this workbook? We call one particular file a workbook. And then we have multiple sheets within the workbook. So this is, for example, sheet number 1, sheet number 2, sheet number 3, and 4. These are the Excel sheets within one Excel workbook. Now, moving forward, there is always a limit of number of cells in every single Excel sheet where you cannot exceed. So that means there is a limit. I'm just giving you an example. But if you can see that, if I just quickly add some data into the sheet, and if I just show you there, so you can see this data in first Excel sheet. If I have to add one row straight in the Excel sheet, so what I can do is, where if I have to add somewhere particular, between the data upside, right side, whatever, or wherever, so I can always, select the row and see here, I can right click and then can add insert. I can click on insert. So one Excel row, one row will be added there. There is always a short form in every Excel sheet, or the short keys, which you can use. And most of the people actually use this. In this case, it would be Control, Shift, and plus. I'm just writing it down for you guys to understand. Control, Shift, plus. So if you add, so for example, like this, I've just used this short key to add one row here. And I can do the same thing if I really want to add a column. So what I can do is I can select the column and then I can right click on it and I can do one thing, which is insert, and you will add one column. Absolutely, Bilal. This is basic Excel. So I have to start from very basic and then we will move to the upper stages. So I really, because it's a combined thing and nobody knows that, okay, what kind of people are there in this session and what are their skills at the moment. So that is why this is the basic Excel. Then we will have advanced Excel. Then we will have another one. All right, thank you. Right, moving back, this is the basic thing. But if we go back, so like that, I've already explained these things to you. So you can always, select, you can add, you can do a lot of things here. I will actually share this sheet with you guys as well, so that you guys can, have some, you can use this manual to, do a lot of stuff. Now, I understand that some of you have already have this idea. I'm just quickly moving to the formatting part. Every cell can be formatted. Everything, whatever is there in the Excel sheet with the data, you can format that according to your requirement. How it can be done. So if you guys can see here, this is if I'm selecting some data here, and if I want to go to the cell formatting, so what I can do is I can use a short key of Controls, plus 1. If I use this one, so you can easily move to the, and you will open this thing, another bar will be open, which is called format cell. And you can see there are a lot of options to format your cell. What is cell formatting? Cell formatting is basically required that what kind of format you want to have in one particular cell, and then you can copy that, same format to another cell as per your requirement. Right now, this cell, these particular cells, if you can see, if I, put it journal, so it will automatically change to journal instead of the percentages. Now I have changed it to the journal. If I have to put like number, I can change it to number. If I want to, put a currency against these, so I can always put currency. You can see dirhams, or I have multiple options of different currencies which we can put. Then we have accounting, date. If you want to put a date format, you can put time format, percentage, whatever you want to do. So you can do the cell formatting from here. Now, the next part. Every data, whatever is there, or whatever kind of data is there in some Excel sheet. As we are accountants and we use it for basic stuff, you can see there are some tabs at the top of the, every Excel sheet. I will take you guys through that every single thing very quickly so that everyone can know that what kind of, tools are available over there. So if you can see here, there is data pasting, which is everyone know that, okay, if I have to do the data pasting, how I can put, so I can just say Control V, which is the short key, or I can just quickly do that through by just selecting it. But when you are pasting the data, you have multiple options how you really want to paste your data. If you really want to paste or shift the data from one part to another part of the Excel sheet in the same format, so what you can do is you will actually just quickly copy it and paste it. But you can, as you can see, this one is now changed to some error. Now, why this error is there? Because when we have copied it and pasted it to the other part, so we have actually copied the exact formula and then we have pasted it there. But if I just want to copy and paste the exact figures without the formulas, so yes, I can also do that. And if I just come here, and if I just come to this part, so you can see this, there is an option of pasting your exact values. And if I just paste the exact values, you will see the exact value has been pasted instead of the formula. What is the short key of doing this? There is always a short key of doing everything like this. So I've already started doing that. If you guys can see, I have opened a new bar, which is paste special. Technically, it's the same thing, which comes from here. But what is the short key? I will just quickly just write it down here, which is Alt, E, S, Alt. But you can't actually do this. You just have to press once, Alt, E, S. And you will see that the new bar will open quickly. And from there, you can maneuver around. And if I want to see this, so you can see this like Alt ES, and then you can see a lot of other options available here. So for example, in this particular tab, if I want to paste the values, I will just paste the values. If I want to paste the formulas, I will paste the formulas. If I want to paste only the formats, I can paste that. There are so many different things what I can do here. If I really want to quickly multiply all these figures with, let's say, 10, what I will do you guys know that? If somebody can just write it down in the chat, how I can do that? If I have to multiply all these figures, which I have just selected, with 10, what should I do? Can somebody please, quickly reply to this? No idea. Okay. All right. So what I can do is I will just copy this figure with whom I want to multiply all the other data, and then I will select all the data and I will open the same paste special. And what I will do is I will just quickly select the values, and then you can see there are different options of add. If I want to add the same amount to all the selected data, if I want to subtract, if I want to divide, if I want to multiply. If I just select multiply and click OK, so you can see this. That's correct. Thank you, Karthik. You're absolutely right. So if I want to do this, and you can see this, that the 10 has been multiplied with all the data available, whatever I've selected. If I want to divide it, I can use the same thing. If I want to multiply, if I want to subtract, if I want to sum it, add it, so I can use the same way. I can do the same in the same way. Now, perfect. If anyone have any question so far, please write it down, or I'll just move to the next session. Yeah, absolutely. That's another way of doing it. Absolutely. Robert, thank you. Yeah. If somebody has any question, please confirm me. Otherwise, I'll move to the next stage. Great. Okay, so we will move to the next part of the tab available there above. So if I just select this data, and you can see we have multiple options of selecting the different formats, different themes, font size, fonts, and all that kind of stuff, and color. If we really want to color our selected cells, if we want to color, or we can use different colors for the write-ups that we can use. Then we have the next tab, which is related to the positioning of the data within the cell. If you can see there, if you want to keep it to the middle, we can use this. If we want to bring it to the right side, we can use this. Then we have the next part, which is, for example, this one. Now, if you really want to angle it in different shapes vertically, if you want to write a text vertically, we can use this part. If we want to wrap the text, when it comes to wrapping a text in, you know that every time when we are writing so many different things in one different cell, a lot of different things, and then it actually use a lot of space from the other cells. And if we write to the next cell, it will not show here. So what we can do is we can always wrap it, and then we can change the size of the cell so that everyone can see the whole text or whole information in one cell. Then there are merge and center. If you can see, we can definitely merge different columns, or different cells right away by just clicking on this. And you can see I have just merged two different cells into one. Now we have, if you can see here, this is journal, number, currency, short, all that kind of stuff. This is the cell formatting, which I initially told you, which you can, straight away go to the cell formatting by just using Control-1 as a short key, and you will see all this information, or you can easily come here and you can use from here as well. Okay, then we have in currency options, you can see quickly, if I just have to put a currency here, I can do that. If I want to, put percentages, commas, then I want to, increase the size of or decimals of all the information. There is this very important part, which is conditional formatting, and that'll take some time, because most of the times what I've seen personally, that accountants do not have that much idea about conditional formatting, that what we can do here. What I'll do is I will just quickly, use this information here to show you as an example. You guys can see here that there are different types of information available here. Or I'll just quickly just write my name here in this column, both sides. I will just write another name. I will just write Robert. I will just write Bilal. I will write Farouk. So, and then that in most of the cases, or many cases, what we face as an accountant, that we get a lot of data in Excel sheets, and sometimes it becomes really difficult for us to do the sorting, to select, to check if there are any duplications, if there are any, the same information is there if you really want to compare one column of information with another column. So in those cases, what we can do is, so for example, if I just select these two columns, and if I want to see that if there is the same duplicate figure in both sides, and that can be highlighted. So you can see there is one first part, which is highlight cell rules. So we can set different rules here, and we can easily highlight those cells. Now, if I want to see the duplicate values, so I can come straight to the duplicate values. And if I select, then you can see here, duplicate or unique. If you want to change the color, you can change the color. You can use whatever color you want. And then you just do, click OK. So you can see that here very quickly. It has shown me, yes, in both columns, there are these figures which are duplicated. And then you can easily move and use this, thing for whatever you want to do as a result. Okay, so if I want to do something else, for example, if I want to set a rule, conditional formatting is always used where you can just, sort of standardize in a way that the same conditional format in a particular area of Excel, whether it is a complete row or a column or one particular portion within the Excel sheet, where you just apply that and automatically it will use the same format every time. So now, for example, if I say greater than, I can say anything greater than 0 should be highlighted as red. Anything greater than 0 should be highlighted as red. And you can see that whatever was greater than 0 is already being highlighted as red. And if I want to see both sides, so what I can do is less than, if I want to just change the color to yellow, anything lower than 0 will be highlighted as yellow. And the same thing will be used. For example, if I just change some data here, because there are some formulas being posted here, and you can see if I just change some data here, and now this particular cell, which was initially negative, and now it is positive, which is greater than 0. So it is automatically, the conditional formatting has changed the color of that particular cell. So what thing you can actually use, why you can use these conditional formattings when you are presenting your reports, when you are doing the variance analysis month by month in your P&L, in your balance sheets, in your cash flows, or you really want to do some analysis in the costing side. Okay, one particular cost in one particular month, for example, January, February, March, and all that kind of stuff. So you can use these conditional formattings in terms of presenting your reports. So then there are a lot of other things which you can, of course, you can use, equal to text and contains and all that kind of stuff. But I will not jump into every single thing. We can definitely discuss this later in the next session, because it's really, deep in terms of conditional formatting itself is a really big topic. Now to the next stage, which is top bottom rules. Then we can see here, top to bottom. If I click here, so you can see format cells that rank in the top. So for example, if I want to rank the first 10, then, and I want that to be highlighted. Let's say there were like, for example, let's say it's a result card of one subject, let's say. And I gained, let's say, 50%, then Ali gained 20, then 30, then 70, then 50 again, or maybe we can, let's say 10. And if I want to put a condition here, top 10 items. So if I just say top 3, so you can see that what is the top 3 here? 30, 50, and 70 has been automatically highlighted. So conditional formatting is always really good. If you really want to have some very unique conditions, yes, you can manage the rules here, and you can always set the rules here. And if you want to set a rule, you can always define the rules here, how you really want to format, how you really want to apply the conditional formatting in one particular area, one particular cell. Right. So any question particularly from the conditional formatting point of view, please write. Guys, any question? Wonderful. All right. Now to the next part. So just like that, when we were saying conditional formatting, which you were trying to apply to one cell or one particular area in a sheet, Excel sheet, you can always, do the same thing with the whole tables. For example, you can format your complete tables. You can apply different types of, formats in one particular cell. You can create headings. You can use them as headings. So many different things. But guys, you need to actually do it one by one from your side so that you can quickly train yourself. Now, the same thing, if you remember, initially I told you how to remove duplicate values. Okay. So if you want to remove the duplicate values, you're saying you want to remove the particular values. Come again, please. Through a formula, or you're saying you want to remove the duplicate values through formula? Okay, so for example, So by just applying, for example, I just received a question from Arslan that he said that how to remove duplicate values through a formula. Just give me like 1 minute, and when I will start doing the formulas here. So I will actually explain the same thing as well, that how we can apply the formulas here. I really want to quickly just finish this thing, and just give me 1 minute. Okay. In insert, you can insert. If you want to delete cells, you want to delete the rows, you want to delete the sheet, you can do that. There are so many different things you can do here. For example, there is a very important part. I will just quickly show you one more thing, and then I will move to the insert, date, draw, and then formulas. I have actually listed down a lot of formulas for you guys, which you can understand and use. Now, for example, if there is one particular area where, and there is a huge sheet where you have a lot of data there, and you want to remove those cells or rows which does not have the figures or any information in that one particular cell. So what we can do is, when we have like thousands of rows, when we have thousands of cells, so what we can do, we can easily select it. And there is one thing called, which is go to. How I have opened it, there's a short key, which is F5, which is F5. After selecting this, I have pressed F5, and then you can see there is one thing which is specials. And then you can actually select as per your requirement. Now, I wanted to select something which does not have any data. So I've selected blanks. Now you can easily see that I can see all the data where there is no information, blanks, complete blanks. And if I want to remove these, so what I can do is I can just quickly go here. And if I want to delete the cells, I can delete the cells. I want to delete the rows, I can delete the rows. And I have successfully deleted all the rows where in one particular column there was no data. You understand? Any question on this? You want to see you want to highlight those cells which does have the data, because in some cases what I've seen, for example, there is one hidden rows. There are always hidden columns in a sheet. So what you can do is you can always select and go to special, and you can see visible cells only. So you can see it has shown only the visible cells, but where the row was actually hidden, so it has not selected that. So it is easier for you to remove. It is easier for you to add if you want to copy one formula to those for example, areas where you do not have the information. Let's say if I want to copy this formula, which is very simple one, to the left, for example, and I want to copy it here, I can do it. I know that. But if I want to copy this in a way in the whole data where where everything or one in those cells, the data is missing. So what I can do is I can easily go to F5 and I can say blanks, and then I can, sorry, I need to select blanks, and then I can just like this. Sorry. So there is something. So I have pasted it simply by just going to the special area, and I've selected all the columns or the cells which are blank in terms of values, and I've pasted the formula there. And now you can see the formula has been pasted here. Now, this is just the basic stuff which you can use to, ease a lot of in terms of when you are working within your job, within your own workplace. So you can use all these things. Guys, it's clear, or should I just, you have any question on the go to special? Is it clear, or you have any question? Wonderful. Now in insert, the first thing is pivot tables. I have a separate sheet for pivot tables where I will quickly show you what kind of pivot tables you can use, what kind of pivot table, and how pivot tables can sort of help you in terms of, summarizing the data, in terms of sorting the data and all that. Then you can add a lot of things from here, like smart art, shapes, and all that kind of stuff. Then we have one section of different charts where you can easily add different charts here. You can insert different charts, maybe in the column shapes, lines, pie charts, and all that kind of stuff. You want to draw, you can draw. You can change the layouts of your sheet. You want to fill different colors. You want to break it down. You want different orientation, all that kind of stuff. Now, in formula section, we have the whole section available where you can use different types of formulas. There are basic formulas, which I will start with, and I will quickly move to the different stages where you can use those in terms of adding and using those in terms of work. Now, the basic one is always, every formula starts with either two things. Either you can start the formula by just clicking on equal, or you can start the formula by just using the plus sign. By starting from equal, let's say if you want to sum all the information above in the column, so you can say sum, and you can select the whole data where you want to apply the formula, and you will do the sum here. And then I can easily move to the right side and I can paste the formula here. You can see this. Now, if I just go, you can see I've just, added S, and there's a whole lot of list of different formulas which are now here, which you can easily use. But of course, there is a very important formula, which is sum if and sum ifs. Now, coming to the sum if and different ifs, before going to that, I will just quickly go to the if formula. If is basically a conditional formula. I will just open, just 1 second. If formulas are called the logical functions, where you apply the logics, and then you can use those logics in terms of using it in terms of specific data and sorting and getting the same kind of results from there. So there is one if example you guys can see here. If is a formula. I will just so this formula is one particular example of using if function. If function actually gives you the liberty of applying the formula where you can use it for different results. If there is one result, then this should be there or shown in one particular cell. In this case, you can see there are 3 students in this course 1 with these results 60, 40, and 70. Our basic condition was anyone who has more marks than 50 is a pass, or anyone below 50 is a fail. So if you can see here, we can apply it like this. If this particular cell is greater than, now I have to add the condition, which is 50 in this case. If he has more marks than 50, then he is pass. I have to close it. Then otherwise, no. If no, then fail. And then bracket close. He is pass. If I just drag down this formula, so then we can see this person whose name is David, he failed. Now, the same thing we can have. Now you can combine this if logic function with different other logics, which is very important again. If you have to have more logics in one if formula, so you can easily use or easily combine it with another formula, which is AND, which is another logic. In this particular example, you can see we have combined the if function with AND. And I have actually written it here so you can easily see this. And will give true if all the statements between brackets are true, all the conditions are met. So if you have multiple conditions, so you can combine it here. In one single condition, it works. But when you have multiple conditions, no, it doesn't work. Now you can see here we have 2 courses. In course 1, the same marks. In course 2, different marks. Now we want to see here if and yeah. So we can combine different formulas here. After using if, we can say and then we can use it like this. Now, in this case, we have said if this guy has passed, or have scored more than 50 marks, then in the second course, if he has scored more than 50 marks, you can see the first logic test will come here. So logic 1, then we have logic 2, and then we can increase the logics, whatever we want, are unlimited, logic 3, 4, 5, 6. If all the conditions are met at the same time, then it will give you the pass. Otherwise, you're fail. So in this case, you can see he scored 40 marks in the course 2. If those were 55, then he's pass. If he's, and in this case, he's failed because he did not score more than 50 marks in both courses. And the same thing will apply in David's case and then on the other case. Is it clear, guys? Please confirm. If it is clear, then I'll just move to the second example. Please confirm. Okay. All right, wonderful. Now, there is another example, if you can see here. Now you can combine the if formula with another condition or another logic, which is OR. So you can see when you have multiple logics, and you can say that if any one of these conditions is met, then this is the result. If not, then this is the result. So in this case, now in the second example, we combined all the conditions. In the third example, we are saying multiple conditions, but out of those multiple conditions, if one is completed or met, then we have the pass result. Otherwise, it is failed. So you can see here, now in this example, Carl actually scored more than 50 marks in course 1, and then he scored less than 50 marks in the course 2, but he still passed. Because when we say that he has to pass or score more than 50 marks in one course, and then he's passed, otherwise he's failed. So you have combined if with or, and that has given you different kind of result here. So in this case, if he goes below 45 in both courses, then he's failed. Otherwise, he is passed. Is it clear? Or I should give another example on combining these logics. Please confirm. Wonderful. All right. So I will actually move back to another side, the previous sheet, so that we can go through the other stuff. Now I can combine, I want to combine the sum formula or sum logic with if. Now, by combining means, when we want to sum or we want to create a sum formula for one particular area where we have multiple conditions, and if those conditions are met, then then it has to sum, otherwise no. So in our cases, if I just quickly open another sheet where I can show you something in real time, and just 1 second. All right. So you guys can see this one example, a very good example on real-time basis, where you can see that how the data has been sorted and how the formulas has been applied. This is a PNL. We have different conditions on this one particular PNL, and the accountant actually has been using this sheet in one particular area. What he actually do is, everything is been linked with the trial balance, which actually gives the summarized or end results in terms of reports. So you can see that this is the trial, which is completely linked. I will actually just explain you one simple formula, which is sum if, and then I will come back again on the same sheet, so that when we are combining it with the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, because that has been used here. Now, in sum if formula, you can see that we have different conditions here. This is a summary, and this summary is actually linked. I'm just trying to explain you that if it is actual, you have multiple logics here with sum. If it is actual, and in this particular month, then you will combine it against this. Now, I will just take one quick example of printing and stationery. But before doing that, I will open a simple sheet here so that you guys can see how it works. Let's just say we have January 2022, for example, and you can see when I have written January 2022, it is straight away taking first date or first day of that one particular month. But if you guys want to have some automated or dynamic in terms of dates. So what you guys can do, you can apply end of month formula, which starts with EO, and then you can do like this. And when you apply, I will just quickly paint the format, and you can see the same date has been applied here. If I just, instead of 0, if I use 1, it will give me February. But whenever you guys are creating any sort of reports or sheets, and where you want to create you want to have the dynamic aspect, that you do not have to do the same stuff every time. So in that one particular scenario or case, what you really want to do is you should be actually using different formulas to create the dynamic aspect. And in this one particular case, you can't actually see what date it is in February. So because we have used end of month formula, this actually formula gives you from this one particular cell, which is C2, January, which is Jan 2022. And if I add 1, which is start date and month, that means it has given me the end of month from the previous month. So that means if I just bring it down here with the same format, so it has given me 28th February 2022. But when we are applying the conditions on different areas in one particular sheet, so please make sure that you actually use the same condition. So either it could be start of the month, or it could be end of month. You guys have any question? If you want to have the start of month, yes, we can do that. But how we can do it? We cannot actually use end of month formula like this. Then we can combine it with something else. What in this case, what we can do, if we use 0, it will give us January, but in January, it is end of January. So what we can do is we can add 1. So you can see now every time we are doing this formula, this is always start of the month. It is always start of the month. You guys understood, or should I just explain this again? Please confirm me. Guys, please confirm. Anyone have any question? Okay, I will explain it again. Okay. All right, I will explain it again. Wonderful. To create the dynamic aspect in the date side, what we really need to do is, if you have seen this formula, this is end of month formula. So I will just delete it again. And you can see this end of month. If I have to start, 1 starts for the number of months. 1 stands for the number of months. So for example, this, and if I want to have, if I just put 2, for example, it should not be, it will not come to Feb, it will be March. So every 2 months, now the gap will be every 2 months. If I put 6, so the gap will be every 6 months automatically. But in our case, being an accountant, you know that when you are reporting, so what happens is that you have to report on month basis. So if you just put 1, what I was trying to explain you, that you will get end of month. That means the last date of the next or following month, which is in this case will be February 28. You can see this date, right? But if I want to have the formatting where I want to have the first date of every month or first of following month, so in that case, I told you a different formula, which is if I just put 0 here, now it has given me end of month, but end of the same month, which is in this case, January. And if I come outside the formula after closing the bracket, and if I just add 1, so it will automatically actually give me the first date of every following month. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? All right, wonderful. Okay, so I will do, for example, if I just quickly go here from January till December, for example, just in case. And we have, let's say, sales, we have cost of sales, we have GP, we have different type of printing, let's say salaries, or different types of expenses. So you know that if I just come to this side, if I have different type of data with different, themes here, and if I say that in the month of January, I had a salary expense of this much. Then in the month of February, I had the salary expense of this much, correct? And if I have multiple sides here, for example, I had 2 columns or 2 cells here in one particular area. Now, if I want to combine these, if I want to sum it with different conditions of dates, with different conditions of the categories, with different conditions of chart of accounts, with different conditions of the names or descriptions of the chart of accounts, and if we really want to sum it through those conditions, so how we can do that? I will come back. Now, if I just quickly do it manually, so what should be the answer here? I will just paste it here. So in the month of January, my my salaries were this plus this, correct? And this is a manual condition. But if I want to combine it with different conditions, multiple conditions, that every month it has to be combined automatically. So what I can do is I can use Sumifs. And in that case, you can see the first thing it will ask is the sum range, where I want to create a range. Now, to the next part, I want to have a criteria range. The criteria range means from where I will pick up the criteria, the criteria against what it has to be selected. So in this case, I'm just taking it, for example, salaries. Now I will go back. My criteria number 1 is salaries. Now I have another condition, which is, month on month. So in this case, I will go back again with to select the different criteria range. I will come back again and I will select the month, and you can see I will find the same answer here with different conditions. And if I want to drag the formula, I just have to quickly just fix it. By fixing means you have to fix the row, you have to fix the column, you have to fix, for example, the column B, where we have different conditions. So in this case, like this and this. So if I just paste it to the next part, so you can see it has automatically summed both figures, which is, in this case, if I just quickly go back, in February, the total salaries were this much. You guys understood, or should I just give you another example on this? Please confirm. Please confirm. All right, good. Thank you so much. So now to the next stage, if we have single condition, so instead of going for the sum if, you can always use sum if with a single condition. So this is a very important formula when it comes to the reporting part. And the same way you can see here in this sheet, we have used a lot of different formulas to combine all the data from the P&L, and you can see here, and everything is coming to the summarized form. Now, to create the dynamic aspect, as you can see here, if I just select it here, So you can see I have a drop-down list here. That's correct, right? Who can create a drop-down list? Please confirm. Who can create a drop-down list in a sheet to create a dynamic aspect? Okay, so to create a drop-down list, what we always do for creating different types of models, if you can see here, we have different sheets which are hidden here. If I just quickly open it here, so you can see there are different dates, there are different months, which you can see here, right? And to create a drop-down list, what I can do is I just have to quickly go to the data. But I will actually give you something else. In this one particular case, if I just have to, let's just say, this selection of different cells, what is this called? What is this called? Somebody can please answer. Don't worry, I am the only one who can see the answers. No one else can see. So you can easily, without any hesitation, please answer. The selection of this data, what we call the selection of this data? We call it a range, correct? In this particular range, if I go here, and if I want to create, let's say, I'll just quickly come here. I have pasted the data again. So I have selected the range from D2 till D14. Is that correct, right? I've selected from D2 till D14. Now, if I really want to name this range, can I do that? Can I do that? Somebody please confirm me. Am I audible or not? Is there any difference? I can't see any I can't see any answer. Am I audible? Yes, wonderful. Right. So if I want to change, or if I want to give a name to this one particular selection, how we can do it? I just need to select it and go here to the left side on this bar, and I say months, let's say 2021. And if I enter, sorry, I just need to change it. So months 2022. Now, if I just select it here, I'm just, grab it to enhance. If I just select the whole range, can you see the name on this side, left side? No, you can't see. But if I select this one particular range, you can see months 2022. That means you have told or given the instruction to Excel sheet that if you select this range in future, anytime, so it should be called as months 2022. Is this clear? Guys, please quickly respond. I have a lot of things which I need to. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, now coming back. If I come back here and if I want to create the same drop-down list here, so what I can do, I can go quickly to data. Where I can go quickly to data. And if you can see here, there is one thing called data validation. And if I just drop it down and click on data validation, you can see I can validate different cells or data here. And you can see another list here, right? And you can see this list, correct? List. But the problem is when you really want to put data or different list within one particular cell. So for that, you need to give it the range from where it has to pick up the data. And for picking up the range, what we can do is if we come to source and if I press F3, either manually, yes, you can do by manually saying you can go back to reference, you can select this. So you can see it has already given you what? The same name of that range, which is equal to months 2022. But what is the short thing to do? in this case, if I have to do it, what I will do, I will just quickly go to the list and I will click on F3, which is what name to be pasted here in this one particular, example. I will paste months 2022. And if I say, okay, and then you can see the whole range is now available here in this drop-down list. Now, what is the use of it? When you are designing the sheets, when you are designing the models, so you can always use this drop-down list for creating the dynamic sheets. In this one particular example, what you are seeing here, you can say, let's say if I just select month May 2021. Okay, if I select 30th June 2021, the data is missing actually. I just want to select the data where everything is available. Yeah. So for example, in January 2021, there was no sale. You can see here. But there were expenses. And you can see all these expenses, correct? Now, in this particular scenario, if I just see what is what in what particular column. So in column C, we have the actuals for the month of January 2021. Now, there is another formula here. Why? Because when we are presenting the sheets or reports, so we try to create dynamic aspect in every single area so that we don't have to change every time, or we don't have to say every month. It has to be selected in a way. For example, if I select February, so it should say February 2021 in what? In this one particular cell. How we have created that? What I've done is, so I have actually combined two things. I'm actually, juggling right now. I know it'll be difficult for you guys to understand in some cases, but I'm trying to, my target is to bring you to this sheet as a result, and so that you guys can create the sheets by yourself. Now, for doing this, I have actually used this formula. What formula is this? So this formula states what? It starts with equal, then it says, okay, use monthly word and combine it with text. Now, the text formula actually gives you simple way. The simple way it gives you text. Now, text value does what? It actually converts a value to text in a specific number format. So in this case, what we have done is so you can see, so we have converted this text, which is February 2021, in this particular format. Now, what is that format? You can see February 2021. If let's say, just, to give you an example, if I reduce the number of Ys, which is in this case year, M represents month, then it will show only 21. If I just add 2 more Ys, it will show you the complete year. You guys can see this, right? So this is how you guys can, create the dynamic aspect in one particular cell. And if every time, whenever I'm actually selecting different months from here, so you can see it will automatically actually change. Is that correct, right? You guys can see this. You have any question? Please confirm. Please write down, guys. Any question on this? Please confirm. Wonderful. Now, I wanted to compare this one particular month, which is, in this case, for now, it is April. I want to compare it with the previous month. Now, to get the data or the dynamic aspect in the next cell, which is E4. So what I've done is, I have put another formula, which is E-date. Now, this E-date will give me what? This is giving me the start date. And then I'm actually adding, what I've done is, I've added -1. -1 is something that means from April and then -1. I can do the same thing here manually. If I do it like this, it will give me 1 day before. If I minus, okay, so I have done this. Now you can see, if I -1 from 30th of April, then I get 29th of April. But I want to go exactly behind 1 month, 1 month behind, so that I can see that I can easily compare April with March. So in this case, what I've done is I have put -1 in EDATE formula, which has given me what? It has given me exactly 1 month before that. In this case, it is 30th of March, right? So it is automatic. That means if I select month of March, it will automatically give me what? It will automatically give me the Feb. I can also do something else. I can use end of month formula as well. And in this case, then we have the variance formula here, variance versus previous month. And I have applied the conditional formatting, which is more than 0, less than 0, or something like that. Now, how we are coming to this form, how we are using this, that is really important. If you guys come here and you can see here, I have a drop-down list here, correct? To sort the data. How we can do that? I can use either a short key, or I can go back to the upper side here, and then I can use my, manually I can put. So the short key of doing this is Control Shift L. Control Shift L. And if I do that by just combining it, so you can see that I can actually apply this. Now, you can see a lot of things here, right? How many of you actually work on different systems, and how many of you actually work on different, accounting softwares? And how many of you actually do the reporting aspect, make reports out of the system, extract the reports, change the reports, and all that? Is there anyone? Is there anyone? Please answer. Okay, so I will just quickly show you one more thing. So what we have done is we have created a mapping sheet here. It's really nice. It gives you a whole. It takes you to the next level where you can combine everything. So this is the complete chart of account of one company. Now this chart of account, you can see the description. You can see the category. Is it the balance sheet category? Is it the ops or G&A category? And what is the P&L category? And from there, what we are currently doing is the accountant, he just actually extract the trial balance and then just paste it here. And what happens is it automatically populates in the P&L the same way through the formula of what? Sumifs. And then it automatically brings or connects the data to the summary sheet where you have everything created already as dynamic. And how we are doing it? To bring the data in against one particular chart of account, we have applied Vlookup formula. Now, there are always two formulas you can use to look up one figure in one particular column or in one particular range. One is Vlookup, which is vertical lookup, and the other one is HLOOKUP, which is horizontal lookup. Generally, people actually use vertical lookup, but yes, in some cases, we have to use the HLOOKUP as well, horizontal lookup. But in vertical lookup, what you can see is, if I have to look up, for example, that what is the description and category and everything of this one particular chart of account, which is 4130-03-0-tetra 0. So what I can do is I can apply this and bring the exact name, description, category against this one particular chart of account here. Now, in this case, what I've done is, or what we have done, so we use the VLOOKUP, and then if I select the lookup value, if I go back to the array and I come here, for example, in the mapping sheet here, if I select the range and I want to see against this column B, I want to see what category it is. So in this case, from B to F, I have selected. Now, B is the column 1, C is the column 2, D is the column 3. So I have to actually, confirm to the formula that from which column to what column, and then out of that range, from which column I have to pick the data against that one particular value, look up the data. Then it will ask you, should it be true or exact match? So in this case, if I put, for example, true or exact match, the difference is something. If you ask the formula that I need the exact match, it will give you the exact match. Now, if I just put like this, so you can see it has given me the exact category against that one particular value, that in this case, it is BS versus balance sheet. And then if I want to combine it, or if I want to create a dynamic aspect out of it, either I just put manual formulas and all that, or I can easily create a dynamic aspect from it as well. For example, I want to, let's say, go to the next side from column 3 to column 4, column 3 to 4 to 5, 5 to 6, or something like that. So I can do that as well. So I will actually fix the formula here. Column B is fixed. The range is fixed. The only thing which I want to create a dynamic aspect, that is this number of column. So in this case, for example, if I just, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, then what I can do is, instead of just putting a manual here, I can just say 3. And then if I just keep moving to the next part, it will automatically actually give me everything. You understood this, right? You understood? Or should I just do it again? Perfect. That's great. Wonderful. Any questions so far? I will repeat it. Absolutely. So what I've done is, manually, if I just have to put, for example, if I have to do it manually, so what I will do is, basically, I will say that I want to look up the value against the column 3, then I will get this. And then I will go, if I have to bring the next value in the next column, then I will say 4, column 4. Or in this case, column 5, correct? But if I want to create a dynamic aspect in the VLOOKUP formula, because the columns are actually shifting from one to another and then to the next one. So what I can do is I will just add the number of columns here or anywhere in the sheet. And then what I can do is, instead of putting the manual column number, I can go back and I just put a link to the formula. And then I've done what? So now when I'm moving the formula to the next one, it is automatically from H1 to, it should go to the I1, yes, and then to the J1. Now is it clear, right? Karthik, please confirm, is it clear? Wonderful, that's great. So it's just a small thing. I wanted just to show you guys that how you can use the dynamic aspect in this term. So what I've done is, so you can see there are different data in different months, in different chart of accounts and all that kind of stuff. So in this case, if I really want to combine it, so what we have done is we have combined it here. You can see the revenue in the month of March is 13,400 by using the same formula here. You guys can see the formula, right? So trial balance, column G, which we have fixed, which is in this case is the sum range, and sum range is this. So, and then the next part is the criteria range, which is in this case is column J. Sorry, the column J. From column J, we want to combine all the whole revenue of in that one particular month, which is month of March. And it has actually combined it. You guys want me to write the formula again? I can write it for you. Please confirm. Anyone wants me to write the formula again? Please confirm. Or no? Should I just move to the next stage, or should I write the formula again for you guys? Please confirm, guys. A quick yes or no, please. Still waiting, guys. Okay, I have a couple of yes, so I will write it down. Okay, so in this case, if I have to do sum ifs, so I will have two different conditions. Why I'm using ifs formula? Why I'm using ifs? Because we have two conditions. The condition number one, or criteria number one, is the month, and the criteria number two is revenue. So I will write down the formula so you can see this again. So I want to sum the whole revenue in the month of March. And for doing that, I will go back to the trial. I will actually select the sum range from where it has to do the sum. And then I have to select the criteria range, which is column J. And then I have to select the first criteria against that criteria range, which has to be revenue. And then I have to put another, or I have to select the another criteria range, which is, in this case, months. And then I have to come back and select the criteria again. And that's it, 13,000 revenue comes in. So in the month of March, the total revenue was 13,400. Is it clear? Is it clear? Wonderful. All right. So this is how actually you create different sheets. Now, from here onwards, you can use sum if, you can use sum ifs. So that means you have learned few things. First thing you have learned is how to use the conditional formatting, all the basic stuff. Then you learn how to use logic test in one formula through if, and how to combine it with different other logics like and then or, and then how to combine it with other formulas, the logics, with sum ifs. The if condition you can use with so many different things, not just sum. You can use it with other aspects, and that is really good. For example, I will give you another example. You have used, or we have actually used the, sorry. Just 1 second, I'll remove this sheet from here. All right. Now, what you can do is, for example, in Vlookup, can you combine Vlookup with the logical formula? Yes, you can do. You can combine it with if you want to, but how? There is always a room for you or flexibility of combining if with any other formula where you have different multiple conditions. So you will actually use that by combining it in different stages. You can use it with HLOOKUP, you can use it with VLOOKUP, you can use it with sum, with with average formulas, with others, so many different formulas you can use it. So it will actually give you the flexibility where you really want to create the dynamic sheets, and it will help you a lot. Now, going back, to the first part, which was the manual. I have already gone through a lot of stuff here, but now I really want to quickly take you to the, who actually knows the pivot table and who knows pivot table and the power pivots. You guys have some idea about that? So if I really want to combine everything, summarize, sort, and do everything very quickly, so I can do one thing, which is called pivot table. If I select the range, and if I just enter or insert, so you can see I have applied a pivot table here. Now, by applying the pivot table or inserting the pivot table, it will give me all the categories here. These are the categories. You can see, right? The headings. Now, if I want to see, there are always 4 areas in every pivot table. First one is the filter, which you can see on the right side. Then there is columns, then there are rows, then there are values. Now, in this case, if I select date, you can always see this. So I can actually combine it. So you can see the date are now coming under what? In the rows. So I can just quickly select it. In the Q4 of year 2022, in the Q1 of year 2022, and then Q2, and then the total. If I want to have the values here, yes, I can have the values. So how I can have the values? If I just say select it, so you can see sum of amounts. Now, you want to change, to different aspects, you can change it. You want to drag it to that side. Yes, you can drag it to different areas. You want to create a filter here. Yes, you can create a filter here. Now you can see what is the total. The total was 4 million. But if I just want to say, for example, in the year of 2022, what is the sum? That sum is 1.6 million of what? Of what? The sum is something here. This is the sum, I think. Yeah, this is the one which we have selected. Now, if I want to actually quickly add few things here. So this is amount column, which has given me the total of 2022. If I select all, so it will give me the complete sum of that one particular column, which you can see here downside of the sheet, 49.2 million. But now I can add multiple aspects in this one particular small pivot, which will actually give me quick overview or summary of the whole data. Now, if I want to see all these here, you can see everything will be available here now in one single sheet. I didn't have to apply any type of formula here. It was really quick and it was really helpful. But there are different, if there are pros of using pivots, but there are different limitations of, absolutely for using the, pivots as well, which is one quick one is the formulas. If you want to apply formulas based on the pivots, it will actually give you a headache. You will not able to handle it. There are different aspects which you need to consider before using pivot in your dynamic sheets. And that is why I personally always prefer to use formulas in different aspects. And now if I just go and quickly see this in the year 2022, in the month of January 2021, in month of year, and then, for example, all, if you don't select quarter, for example. Now you can see in cleaning, in different aspects, you can see different categories in every month, in journal and admin, in everything, but it is not properly sorted out. So what I can do is, I can actually, for example, take the months to the column. I want to, and then I can select. So now you can see in journal and admin, in this category, all these different aspects are now available. So you can see this, right? So this is the sum. If I just hide it, you can see the sum. Cleaning in the month, in one particular month, what was the total expense? That was 2,479 dirhams. So this is the way you can actually use pivots on the whole big sheet, and you can combine and summarize the data very, very quickly. Now we have already available from pivot. Excel has given us another a really good aspect of pivot. Now we can use power pivots as well, but it's really a long discussion topic, which I will not actually touch base now. I will actually take it to the next session where we can do a lot more detailed, trainings. Now, I will just quickly just give you an, how to use the, or how to insert, for example, how to insert the graphs. So for example, if I want to add a static graph where only static, not dynamic, like for creating dynamic, yes, you can create dynamic graphs where you can give the ranges in your graph that you want to see the figures from January 21 till, let's say, June 21, and then you want to change the figures or the ranges, then how it can be dynamic? Yes, for that you need to learn offset formula. You need to learn offset formula. The offset formula actually gives you, and my trainer actually, I still remember, he used to tell us that offset formula is not a luxury, that is compulsory, and that is the need when you are trying to create the dynamic sheets. But to practice that, it takes a bit more time, which we don't have right now, so I will not actually touch that. But what I can do is I can easily show you that. Okay, so in this one PNL, how you can add very quickly these graphs. So if I go to insert and want to add the 2D graph here, for example, you can see a blank graph is now available here in front of you. And if I just click right on it and then select data, I can add. So you can see here, there are two parts every time for every single graph. One is the legend entries and the other one is horizontal. How it works, I'll quickly show you. If I really want to add here, for example, if I want to add the series name, in this case, I can say revenue, and then I can quickly, give a range. So from January 1 till May 2021. Now on the horizontal side, I can come back again and I can give the dates. So now if I just click OK, you can see a revenue graph in front of you, which is from January 2021 till May 2021. So these are the horizontal and these are the legend entries. Now you can change it according to your requirement, really. For example, if I just double click on it, you can see on the right side, I can see a lot of options. You can give the limits that the total range, the legend entries or the range. For now, it is 900,000. If I want to limit that to 800,000, yes, I can do that. If I want to change the type of graph, I can quickly change that. So, for example, if I just go above, so you can see that you can quickly change the layout of your graphs. You can add different elements here. You can for example, coming here, you can use it like this. You can use the data table, error bars, legend, trend line, whatever you really want to do. You can do a lot of things here. Now you can insert, or you can use different types of graphs. There are so many different types. So you can come here, you can see that in different graphs, you have column forms, 2D, 3D, of course, line charts, where you can show the lines. You have the pie chart, you have the bar chart, so many different things, so many different so many different skills you can develop in Excel, what I can say, or there are so many different things you can learn. Guys, I will actually finish it right now because it's already now 1.5 hour now. What we really plan to do is in the month of October, mid of October, or the start of November, we are going to have another session, where we will actually talk, in detail. But especially for those who have attended today's session, please do attend that next session where we will take you to the next level uh, in really a lot of details, where I really want to cover the offset formula. I would cover how you can create the logic functions within a financial model. We will try to learn or try to create some very detailed financial models over there, and that session would be for at least 4 to 5 hours. But the dates will be definitely announced by IFA separately, and so please uh, just keep track of those events and webinars. Next thing is very important. On 8th of October, we are going to have our first face-to-face networking session for new members, especially where all the new members will be pinned in UAE. And for those who have not registered yet, please register and do attend, and so that we can have a really good gathering over there. Anyone have any question, please, you can use the Q&A section or chat section for asking any question. Please go ahead. Anyone have any question? Please confirm. Okay, I will ask a question because I can't see any question coming to my side. Now we have, yes, Asif, we will actually, I will share the practicing file. I will combine it. I will create a separate Excel sheet, which will actually take you to the, you can use that. You will be able to use that sheet definitely separately to practice. So what I will do is I will add multiple sheets as an examples and practice sheet for you guys. And that sheet will be sent by IFA to different, to all the members who have attended it, or those maybe those who have not attended. So everybody will receive it separately. Now, I have received a question, Karthik. Well, index match, Karthik, and XLOOKUP, definitely it can be a better option in terms of XLOOKUP against the index match. But index match is something, it's not that you can use one thing as a better option to another. It depends on your requirement. In most of the cases, what I've seen is index match really helps you to gather data from multiple sheets with different areas, and then combining everything, bringing that by matching with those particular conditions to one sheet. And XLOOKUP is always really good option, but with it, that actually search of one particular range or array, from where then it actually it can bring the value or returns the value, the corresponding match, the first match it finds. That will be like first match, which it will find. So now that again depends on your particular requirement, how you really want to design your sheet, how you really want to bring the data. So for example, you want to combine, if you're using XLOOKUP, for example, I'm just giving you one example. So in one particular column for a search term, and then it will return the complete result or a match in the same row from a different column. So regardless which side of the column it is, but in index match you can use different ranges. You can use even you can combine, and you can bring those instead of applying the ranges. You can just add particular names, or you can give direction of to the formula by actually going into different sheets and then bringing those matches to one sheet. I really can't actually explain you like this. Instead, we can just use it for next time, where we can definitely have. And I do have really good actually data to share with you guys where we can discuss this index match. So, for example, I wanted to cover this today, but I couldn't actually cover it. So, index match. This is the same sheet I was actually, kind of wanted to show you, but I couldn't actually explain you. But yes, in next session we will do. Any other question? Guys, so anyone really want to discuss anything? So what I will do is I will leave my mobile number here in the chat box for you guys to approach me. I have WhatsApp on this number. You are most welcome to please connect with me. I'll be more than happy to help you and answer you in case of any sort of inquiry. I have left my mobile number. I've left my email address as well. Really, it was yeah, it's there, Bilal. Can you see? Can you see my number? Oh, sorry, just 1 second. I think I've just didn't to everyone. Okay, I will just share again. Just 1 second. Wonderful. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today's session, and I really want you guys to see you guys in our next face-to-face session on meeting on 8th of October. We are actually it'll be attended by very renowned speakers, and we'll be discussing different topics from corporate tax point of view, in particularly in UAE, and economic issues, the benefits, and all the financial sides, non-financial sides. So there'll be a lot of different topics, absolutely. And I really want you guys to attend. So please do attend that session and meet me there. I'll be more than happy to welcome you guys over there. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Thank you. Bye.